the violent rise of Islam. I would like to put that particular issue in context, in historical context. The polemical debate of those who engage in back and forth dialogue of whether this is wrong and this was good and this happened and that happened in a particular religion. The polemical debate says Islam is an imperialist movement. Islam is spread by the sword. Islam was spread by the sword. And the Crusades were an answer to Islamic rise and domination of the Holy Land. So the Muslim answer to that is no, we didn't imperialize the world. But what we did is Islam brought peace and stability in the region. We united tribes elsewhere and politically founded anti-nations. So we did a good thing. They say the religion of Islam expanded by conquest and conversation. It did not spread by the sword. They usually quote then a verse from Surah chapter 2, verse number 256, wherein it is said, there is no compulsion in religion. So you have yours and I have mine. But the fact is, of course, Islam has spread. It has 1 billion adherents today. Islam is spread all over Central and South Asia and the entire Middle East. In my opinion, anti-Islam polemicists focus on select historical and violent occasion of Islam in order to confuse people, especially Muslims, and to estrange them from Islam. They do so because they know there will be a tough battle to be fought, and there's no pun intended here. They know there will be a tough battle to be fought if they have to argue solely on comparative analysis of doctrine and social religious facts, because Muslims can play that blame game too. If they say your religion is hateful, your religion incites hate, your religion incites violence, Muslims would usually be able to say yes, but yours is worse. So instead of doing that only, they tag along, the anti-Islamists tag along the fact that there is so much strife and there is so much trouble in the entire Muslim nation. They go as far as saying that Prophet of Islam is a pedophile. So the most crucial question to ask, if we want to put things in context, is whether the Crusades, for example, which has been seen as the defense by Christians in response to the Muslim domination of the Middle East. And rather than believing that the Crusaders were Christians, shouldn't we wonder whether these early Crusaders, led by Godefroy of Bouillon, were simply fortune-seeking savages, led by Godefroy of Bouillon, or were they Christians? Well, let's see. In the First Crusade, they killed men, women, and children, as per the account of the Chronicles of the First Crusade, Raymond of Aguilers. And in that account, Raymond says, "Oh, how blessed we were. We came into the city of Jerusalem and we found the blasphemers and we killed them all. Men, women, and children. We killed them all. And we hewed their hands and their feet off, and we were bathed in blood. The blood was so high that it reached the necks of our horses. That's Raymond of Aguirre, the chronicler of the First Crusade, by Godefroy of Bouillon in Jerusalem. So survivors were either enslaved or expelled from their properties and land. They destroyed the temples and shrines. Mind you, the people were Jews. The victims were Jews, most of them, the majority. And the Christians tolerated no other religions in Jerusalem. Thus, no matter who or what caused the Crusades to happen, the fact remains that the Vatican, at the request of the Byzantine Emperor Alexius I, sent mercenaries, crusaders, to defend the Christian lands. The title Emperor centers on the crux of the matter here, as it is the root for the word imperialism. So, was that then another episode of Christian imperialism? Was that another episode of the violent character and the violent rise even of Christianity? That's an answer for you to find out. Muhammad is portrayed by anti-Islam commentators as a politician and military leader first and foremost. So, to focus on such issues, the anti-Islam propagandists are trying to take away the spiritual and philosophical meaning of Muhammad's message as contained in the Quran. Islamic imperialism can be interpreted as the drive for political power and economic dominance, of course. But those desires are inherent to almost all movements in the history of our world. And let me give you some examples. The first example is an example of ancient imperialism. And the one we know the most well is Alexander. Alexander had the blessing of his spiritual and philosophical teacher, the great Aristotle. Aristotle blessed Alexander with the reassurance that since the Greeks are superior to the rest of mankind, it was Alexander's birthright to dominate and conquer the entire world. So one of the world's greatest philosophers, still honored and respected, well read up to this day, Aristotle said that the Greeks are superior to other people, and you can murder and loot and conquer the rest of the world if you want so, because you are born to rule.